What's up, my dudes? 2024 San Francisco track review on MX Simulator. I had to come in here and make a video on this one because finally, let me knock on a little bit of motherfucking wood out here, okay? Finally, it seems like gone are the days of the rolled off ass whoops, the rolled off rhythm section jumps, you know, the bullshit amateur tracks that they've been making forever. Finally, it seems like we're getting back to the proper size of actual whoop sections that feel like real pro level whoops in the game and real, you know, jump rhythms and real size to the jumps and peak to the jumps. I mean, I feel like it's been forever since we've actually had that. Don't make me have to remind you boys of the, you know, the older like 2020 tracks and the 2021 tracks, 2019 tracks, 2022 Oakland. Just go back and ride on some of those tracks, boys. You'll see why I was Mr. Rant Boy for like 3 or 4 years in this game. You know, everybody wanted to act like, oh, Spencer ever does is rant on RF. All he ever does is hate on RF. There was a reason, bro. If you don't believe me, go back and ride on those tracks. These tracks they're making in 2024 are entirely different in every way. Like, berms are bigger, whoops are bigger, jumps are bigger, everything's bigger. There's a reason for that. If all that they were doing in 2020, 2021, even into 2022, if all that they were doing was so good, like RF tried to claim and all the RF fanboys tried to claim that it was back then, oh, well, they're just doing it for the Erode system, Spencer. Well, if it was so good, they would still be making it that way. You know, the bullshit sandy feeling traction, if it was so good, they would still be doing it. They wouldn't have literally changed everything about it. Oh, was Spence right again? Oh shit, damn, bro. Yeah, it just takes some time before y'all dumbasses realize how right I was about all this shit. It just takes a little bit of time. Oh, man. It's just so frustrating when these people just can't get it. They just can't get it. And it takes RF 4 or 5 years to finally start making the tracks good again before y'all boys even realize it. So anyways, this San Francisco track, this has got it going on right here. And it don't even really have any pre-made, you know? It don't even really have a lot of, I mean, it's got some quad jumps and stuff on it, but it's just the pure, like, the size of the jump, the height of the jumps makes such a big difference on MX Simulator when it comes to skill gap. That is such a major skill gap thing. The sheer size of the whoops and the sheer size of the jumps, the peak of the jumps, you know, it makes it so much more challenging for people to get around the track, right? So let me just do a little recap on my pro race. I just uploaded my heat race footage, my 450 Pro heat race footage on my YouTube channel, if you go look on there. So we ended up actually getting second place in the heat race somehow. I was going slow as shit. Spency boy just keeping it 100 with you. I was just staying on the bike, you know. But I mean, I was going slow as shit. My quickest lap time in the heat race was a 57.5. Okay, you can see right here in this footage right here, I'm running low 56s back to back to back like it ain't shit. All right, so we were definitely off in this actual pro race here a little bit. Spency boy sliding out. Made a couple tweaks to the bike. I was 1 gear too low in the whoops. That was killing me on lap time wise and speed wise in the actual pro race. I wasn't getting up into 4th gear through those whoops. That was major. I didn't realize that till after, and also had my rider mass a little bit off in the pro race. That's another little tweak that I've made since then, but yeah, we're basically right after the pro race, I was able to run low 56s back to back to back like it wasn't nothing. And I'm pretty sure my quickest in the main event was like some high 57. My quickest in the heat race like a 57.5. So we're a whole last second quicker, you know, making some tweaks to the bike. I knew it was going to take me racing a race before I actually could go in there and change a couple things. We should be a lot better in the next round. I know I got second in the heat race. Woo woo, it's just a motherfucking heat race, okay? We top 10'd in the main event. Had some weird shit happen there, but we should be a lot better in these next couple rounds. Just making some tweaks, trying to figure out a couple things. So yeah, that is not my full capability there as far as what I ran in the actual pro race of this round right here. We got a lot more in the tank, boys. We got a lot more in the tank, boys. But yeah, so that's the thing about sim. When you get to that 450 pro level, it's like if you just have one little thing off on the bike, it can totally change the sort of race that you're going to have or the lap times that you're going to run. Everything's got to be just right when you get to that kind of level, you know what I mean? But yeah, got my rider mass a little more adjusted here. I'm way better in the corners with this. The whoop section kind of tricked me up a little because it was right out of the corner. It was like real tricky for me to get first, second, third, and then click up to fourth gear like right before the whoops. I'm having to do it like right on the first whoop. Normally, I don't really have to do that. But finally, RF has added some whoop skill gap back. These are pro level whoops. All that shit y'all boys was riding on in 2020, 2021, 2022, those were not pro whoops in this game. I tried to tell you, you just didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to listen. Finally, though, RF is getting this shit back. And these two rhythms right here, they're really cool because there's kind of like two alternative ways of hitting it. Which is really good. You know, that's what it seemed like a lot of their tracks back in 2020, 21, and 22. It's like there was only one way to hit the rhythms. There was only one way to go around the track, and then the whoops were super rolled off where they just had no skill gap. Anybody and their grandma could get around the track. This feels different to me right here. This actually feels like something that is more pro level. Like if you want to consistently get around these whoops fast, you know, if you want to consistently hit these rhythms big every lap, like it takes some skill to do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to make a big point in this video. Hats off to you, RF. Gotta give you the flowers where you deserve it. You are finally, and now it took you, I gotta admit, it took you about 4 or 5 years to figure this thing out. But it does seem like you have finally figured out this jump height and berm height and whoop height, you know, thing again. Seems like you finally got that concept back in your track making routine. And I was just trying so hard to tell you that. I was trying so hard to tell you that. You had everything like 20% rolled off for so many years in this game, and I don't know where that even came from because that really wasn't a thing pre-2019. You know, I don't even know where it came from, but it was like when RF shut down and came back, that's when all that bullshit flat tracking rolled off. Everything was like a, you know, some machine just came through and rolled off everything on the track. I don't know where the hell it came from, but it stayed in this game for like 3 or 4 years. Finally, it seems as if they have slowly but surely worked themselves back to this point where we've actually got some jump size and some whoop difficulty and some berm size. It doesn't just feel like you're going into some flat ass rolled off sand corner. Oh man, it's just frustrating when you say all this shit 4 years ago. And, you know, everybody wants, including RF and the RF fanboys, wants to act like you ain't got no idea what the hell you're talking about. And lo and behold, here we go. 4 years later, they're finally doing it. Holy shit, man. So anyways, yeah, I'm a fan of this track. I like it. Could some of the, like the triple could have been a little bigger. Finish line could have been a little bigger, but I really love this jump that jumps back up right here. This has got some skill gap to it. You got to carry your speed around. See, this is a separator right here in itself. Like, if you're not basically pro level speed, it's going to be hard for you to even dream of getting the speed to hit this right here every lap. And then being able to jump all the way to this tabletop and jump off, jump that single into the corner and carry that speed around to hit this triple. You know, you kind of got that back-to-back rhythm section where you kind of got to chain together the rhythms a little bit. That's really cool to me. And these whoops, they ain't no joke, bro. They ain't nothing to play with, especially in that main event when that shit got chewed up. Even though, like I've said forever, the Erode system does not make realistic shit in this game at all. It's one giant singular rut in every corner. And then you get to the whoops and it doesn't really make ruts in the whoops. It just kind of like makes a weird, like, wore down kicker or some shit. That's the only way I know how to explain it. But yeah, overall, they're starting to get the base versions of these tracks to an actual pro level again. Like, at the very least, that's what you gotta have with the pro track. Even if you don't have pre-made, even if you don't, you know, have this, that, or another, that's like bare minimum. That's like essentials. You know, they're finally starting to get just the essential shit back to these tracks. Keep it up, RF. You're on the right road. No more backtracking. You know, you're starting to get it again, man. You're starting to get it again, man. Perfect timing. I'm coming back to the pro racing. There's a reason why I wasn't pro racing for the last 4 or 5 years. 90% of those tracks were absolute dog shit ass amateur sand tracks, okay? Don't get mad at me for telling the truth, alright? But finally, we're starting to get somewhere again here. And I love to see it, man. This is what I've been waiting on. This is what I've been waiting on the whole time. It's what I've been trying to tell you the whole time. But yeah, we're running low 56s. I was way off of that pace in the actual pro race. Like I say, I was running the wrong rider mass. I've been kind of juggling with that a little bit, trying some different stuff. And yeah, I was not quite as confident as I needed to be going into these whoops. I should have been clicking up to 4th gear, but I was keeping it in 3rd gear just to try to be consistent, boy, in my first race back, you know. It worked out in the heat race, ended up getting 2nd, but that main event, I'm going to have to be quicker. I'm going to have to be better, you know, quicker all the way around in that main event. And we will be, bro. We will be, bro. So, you know, yeah, lots of good races coming up in the future. Made it to the first main event. You know, we kind of got to click off these small wins and take these kind of baby steps, getting back to that top 5 level, and then try to get to that podium level in the main event type shit. We should be able to do it this year, guys. I really think we're sitting pretty to be able to at least be able to get some podiums in those 450 main events, man. That's what it's looking like to me. It should only get easier as the rounds go on because there should be less people racing. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking good, man. Everything's coming together here. The RF tracks are looking better, so it's more fun for me to ride on these tracks. Even just this round 2, I really prefer riding on this one over the Anaheim 1. This track to me just has that real supercrossy feel to it, man. It's just got a nice supercrossy feel. Like, I like the scaling on it. It does have a couple of narrow areas, but it also, like, the jump skill gap is there, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just something about it. Like, it's got that overall kind of skill gap where it feels like you can... Yeah, there could have been, like I say, a few more quad opportunities that weren't, like, you know, only something you would hit in qualifying type shit. But overall, it's got the nice balance of, like, whoop skill gap, you know, rhythm skill gap. It's just got a nice little overall feel of that. So, yeah, I'm impressed, RF. Keep it going, man. Keep it going, man. I'm your biggest critic, but I can also be your biggest fan. It just depends on how you make your shit. I mean, that's literally what it is, bro. There was a reason why it seems like I've been such a hater boy for the past like 4 or 5 years. There's a reason. Go back and ride on those tracks. 2022 Oakland, go get you some, bro. That track is absolute dog water. I don't know what the hell they were doing. But finally, y'all boys are getting it again, man. Really proud, really proud. Keep it going. Keep it up, boys.